Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and I am back with game number 2 of the championships in the CoffeeCast Open tournament. I am totally stoked to have aciesPure and aciesSpawn here playing for us. Pure is currently down 0-1 in this series. GG'd a little bit prematurely, I felt, in the last game, but that does not matter because we are in a best-of-7 and he has plenty of games to come back. In the meantime, I should probably introduce my wonderful co-caster, Sleeper Cells.
Yes, I am indeed here, and I am indeed casting. My name is, in fact, Sleeper Cells. This best of 7, like you said, looking forward to it.
Indeed. Now, in the last game, we saw Spawn just do a lot of roaches and win. aciesPure did do some sort of Void Ray rush, kind of off of 2 base, really sacrificed a lot of his economy, and after he had his first bad engagement, he just kind of left the game, and Spawn almost took a free win, I felt.
Well, I mean, you gotta give Spawn a little bit of credit, too. He built some queens, too. He built some queens, built some drones in there as well. But no, that does sort of show the current metagame in Zerg versus Protoss. Zergs just tend to make a lot of roaches, and really that's all you need to make. That sounds really bad. It sounds like I'm trying to call them OP or whatever, but no, a lot of Zergs simply make a lot of roaches, and that's style of play a lot of people have been favoring at the moment. And that's what Spawn did, and he executed it quite well, got a few queens out, was able to deal with the Void Rays, and pretty much just decimated the army of Pure.
Indeed, you're right, we should not be knocking Spawn at all. He played an excellent game, and he's done that same exact opener twice and been spot on with his timings both times. And once again, he was even experimenting with some Nidus network play, which I really commend him for, because a lot of Zergs do tend to stray away from that. We do have Spawn opening up with something new this time, decided to go for the Extractor then pool, which will just allow him to get his metabolic boost out so he can get that Zergling speed out very quickly and gain some map control in the early game. And I always like map control in the early game.
I gotta love that early map control. Most of the time, Zergs are going to pretty much destroy Protoss in that sense. I do have to mention, of course, Pure taking that Forge fast expand here with an interesting positioning on the Forge. A lot of people like to put it where Pure has a lot of the higher level players. If you watch any streams, OGSMC, you got
wait, it's not OGSMC anymore, it's SKMC.
MC, we got MC, we got Tyler, we got any of those high level Protoss players like to Forge fast expand in the positioning that Pure is currently expanding. Probably saw that on a stream. A lot of level players feel like expanding on this ramp here is actually better, but no, not quite as good. So I do have to commend Pure for his positioning here.
And Sleeper, that is exactly why I like bringing you on here, is because you bring a little insight that I did not know. So that's just a nice little tidbit. Put the Forge right next to the ramp there if you want to do it like the pros, I guess. We do have...
Gives you better positioning. Gotta get a second cannon in there, though.
That's true, but a lot of people do like putting that second cannon. You see that Pure does have his second pylon back in the mineral line. A lot of players will get their cannon right about here in the middle of the mineral line, and that defends from Zergling attack and Muta attack. It's just kind of a good positioning.
No offense, positioning on this pylon, actually, I really don't like it. It's denying that mineral patch in the back there.
I do suppose you're right on that. The pylon does leave a little bit to be desired. Maybe could have gone in the back. The Zerglings actually poking up a little bit, losing a couple Zerglings. Not a big deal at all, though. Spawn has...
Fighting for a little bit with those.
Yes, he could. Spawn has taken his hatchery down at his natural expansion. Could actually probably take a quick third on this map as well, as Antigua Shipyard is not the most difficult map ever to expand very quickly on.
No, it's almost like almost exactly like that version of oh, excuse me. Why am I'm blanking on the name of the last map we played on.
The Terminus.
GSL Terminus Re, that's right. It's almost exactly the same as that one. You got these rocks here to enter this third base. You got the natural, the choke between the third natural. That's really easily defendable if you have a decent large army, like generally Protoss balls are going to be. With these two chokes, very, very defendable positions, which is why you see a lot of Protoss players easily able to get up on 3 bases and go for that big ball of units that you said Pure does like to do.
Indeed. Now, what I would really like to see out of these players is watchtower control in this matchup. There is one watchtower right in the middle of the map, and that oversees pretty much everything that's going to go on in this map. because enemy armies are going to pretty much move straight through the middle every single time unless you're doing some sort of flyer attack. And so that's actually one emphasis that Blizzard has been placing in their new maps, is the emphasis on Xel'Naga Watchtower control. They just want that to be a very important feature in their upcoming maps, which I just think is kind of an interesting thing for Blizzard to focus on, and I don't necessarily disagree either.
No, I definitely have enjoyed the concept of Xel'Naga Watchtowers for quite some time, simply because they do they provide the new aspect of the game. I mean, Brood War did not have the idea of you hold this positioning on the map, you get a lot of extra vision, you're able to see attacks coming, which honestly is just a great little thing to have. Indeed it is.
We do have the Twilight Council being dropped for aciesPure. He also does have that robotics facility with an observer coming out, trying to kill that Overlord before it gets to the Twilight Council, but I think it's going to be too late. aciesSpawn is more likely than not going to see it, and I don't know if he selected that building. I don't think that he did.
I don't think he did either. He did see it. He saw that there was something morphing in there, but he did not, I do not believe, see that building. But for the benefit of the doubt, we will have to go ahead and pretend like he did. However, the important thing is he did not actually see that robotics facility. So he does know possibly about the Twilight Council, but for all we know, he might feel DTs are an aspect, or maybe even charge. Whereas with this Robo, I would not be surprised to see some Blink play, which it's going to be really, really good against this Spire that Spawn is throwing down here. It looks like he might be going for a Zergling Muta style this game, which is certainly going to be interesting to see against this Blink Stalker build.
Definitely, and I was thinking Blink right as soon as I saw that Twilight Council, and I totally agree with this decision, especially with the roach play that he has seen previously, and with these two spine crawlers in the front of Spawn's base. So what does Pure think? Why go through the defenses when I can circumvent the defenses? And that is exactly what he's going to do. If I could just find that damn observer. There it is. The observer is now flying towards the third base, just kind of getting a full scout off of what's going on. This third base could be very easily picked off by the Stalkers. And another thing I would like to point out is how well that Pure is staying on top of his upgrades, already going up to +2 weapons, and I really, really like that out of him.
Yeah, it looks like Pure actually sees... No, actually he doesn't see the Spire, but definitely starting to cannon up pretty heavily here. He is going for a lot of Blink Stalkers. He's going to be staying on through base for a while, so getting a couple cannons does not surprise me, as I know I've definitely lost in the past to Mutalisk flying in my main and being completely unprepared, so I do have to commend Spawn for being good. And he actually did not see any Roachhorn or any other sign of any other tech at all, so it does not surprise me that he got some turrets up to defend against possible Mutalisk.
I completely
But I do have
agree.
to say, I'm surprised he's... I'm not crazy, he's only got 5 gates right now, does he?
I think so, yeah. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got to be missing some. No, he is only on 5 gates. However, he does have a Warp Prism moving out across the field. Oh my goodness, look at the bank for aciesSpawn.
That's what happens when you get a... When you play as Zerg and you get a little bit of supply block for a second, you look at your bank and suddenly you're at 26 minerals, 700 gas, and you can make 8 production rounds of drones.
Yeah, amen. He really should focus on trying to change that fairly shortly. This Warp Prism might get picked off by these Mutalisks. They're flying in the general direction, and indeed those Mutalisks will fly straight over the top of that Warp Prism, and the Warp Prism didn't even know those were there, and Pure is going to lose that Warp Prism. Oh, that is such a shame. That Warp Prism had so much potential. Whatever happened to the Blink Stalkers that were running around down here?
There were Blink Stalkers?
Yeah, there were Stalkers over there. Oh, no, I guess they stayed in the base. I must have been seeing things.
I think it was the Observer that you were saying.
And that might have been the Observer, indeed. Ground weapon level 3 on the way for Pure now, as well as his third base. I really like these timings coming out of Pure. He seems much more practiced in this game than he did in the last game. He just seemed a little bit off balance in the previous game.
Spawn is going to scout that this third is coming up. He's not going to know 100% that it's coming up, but he does see that pylon warping in with this Overlord, so he is going to assume that there is a third base on the way, so he's going to feel fairly comfortable in his... in continuing to drone up for a little while. But no, actually, he's just going to go for a lot of roaches and try and bust this third down really, really quick here. Decided, seeing the army composition of aciesPure, that he decided he was going to instead go for the much safer, much more solid roach build.
Indeed, he did. We do have 4 cannons on the way in Pure's third base. Pathogen Glance has now finished up, though. And Yeah, oh my goodness, 20 roaches on the way, getting missile attack level 2 now, as well as Glio reconstitution, which is that roach movement speed.
Well, you can certainly see how fast that bank drops as a Zerg. He's down to 400, 100. He's macroing like a boss all of a sudden, popping out 22 roaches, and he's A-okay.
Overlord drop is what we are about to see. Look down at aciesSpawn's is about third base right there. These Overlords are just about breaming full of roaches and Zerglings, and Pierce's main is going to be completely undefended from the side.
Well, he is going to have those Blink Stalkers, but I mean, this is such a huge Overlord drop. This is a Doom drop, as you used to call it in Brood War. He's coming in with, I believe, that is 14 Overlords, almost full of units here. This is going to be a huge drop if I've ever seen one, every single one, and there is a huge droppable portion of this base open. Look at
the
this.
Mutalisks are flying in. Mutalisks are making the Blink Stalkers get out of position as well.
And the landing pad coming in here with the Overlords. One of them is going to go down to these cannons, but everything is getting dropped off, and Pure is going to have to scramble to defend against this. The cannons are doing a decent job holding them off for a little while, but they are not going to be able to hold off for long. However, a lot of these Overlords
the units right now. About half the units have been dropped out. There we go. There go the rest of the units. And Pure is taking so much damage in this attack. This 200 supply to 136. aciesPure is just trying to warp in a bunch of zealots. There are some sentries back to force fields, but that is a lot of roaches. That is 2 full pages worth of roaches. A few decent force fields go down, but not enough to really trap the army off. And now the roaches are pretty much just destroying 2 parts of the army at once.
Every single gateway was sitting here in the main, and 3, 4 of them have now gone down. And really, at this point, Pure has so much money, but he has nothing to use to produce on. He got a robo that's been idle for a very, very long time. He does have a couple Templar back here with Storm, but I mean, there's just so many roaches here. This main is going to be forced to be sacrificed, and there's just more roaches moving across the map. This does not look good for Pure at all.
No, it doesn't. He has 1 gateway left in a robotics facility. I really don't know if there's much that he can do left in this game, and it's 200 supplies to 75. Spawn is already re-maxed out, and I can't see any way Pure coming back in this game. Roach is hitting the natural expansion and the third base at the same time. Storms go down, but just not do the damage they need to kill off those roaches. The second base just falling for Pure, and Pure is falling apart right now in this championship game.
And at this point, he's just he's preparing himself mentally to type out GG. This is basically a body of chair situation. 24 supply to 188. At this point, Spawn could go AFK, go grab a drink, and come back to a victory stream.
Pulling in control. Have you seen that video?
It's actually originally in control's the new version of it. I think it was Marine King Prime did it or somebody.
Yes, indeed. aciesPure just being a little bit of a knacker. Oh, he's throwing Nexuses down all over, being a little BM in this game. He's got to remember he has at least two more games to play after this if he wants to finish up this series, unless he's just going to forfeit. But I can't see a player wanting to forfeit.
Well, I mean, we do see that in the economy station, it's pretty close. There's 1 probe to 54 drones. In the army tab, we do see 4 observers to 70 roaches.
The roaches
so I mean, Pure is not out of this game yet. He's not out of this game yet.
The roaches have spotted this simulator over here, down at the gold base. There is still 1 probe once again running around, just putting a simulators down everywhere. And oh, Pure, come on, man, come on, you can be a better player than that.
This probe is really crossing its fingers that it's hoping to rebuild the Protoss army, but unfortunately, all 1,600 minerals that he's got left are going to be a bit of a waste. 5 supply, 4 of it in observers. That's just not going to go very well.
No. Do you think it's safe to go ahead and call this game at this point and force the GG?
Well, we can certainly sit back and hopefully Pure knows that it's almost over. I mean, he's been completely scouted.
There we go. There's the GG for aciesPure. Yeah, I don't know. Pure he doesn't seem to be playing on top of his game in these last 2 games, just being dismantled by aciesSpawn's heavy roach aggression.
What you have to remember, it is getting a little bit late, not too terribly late for us gamers, but it's definitely to the point that it's a long ways into a tournament. I mean, if you're not being properly hydrated, you're not keeping yourself mentally prepared. Later in these long tournaments, you can definitely start to fall apart a bit, and your play definitely does decrease in quality.
Indeed. I mean, I can't blame these players for getting tired. I know I'm getting tired, and I am hardly doing anything except sitting in my chair and talking fast. aciesPure will have the choice for the next map.
Don't just talking fast. Talking fast is quite quite impressive.
So until we get that next match ready, I will go ahead and put on some tunes for you guys. Stick around.